into basically a baseline here, which simply stopped the price. The value was very, very bearish. However, the return back towards the top edge in terms of the unwind of the volatility rotations, which is the purple line, as it unwound, you can already recognize that the unwind was actually back towards where the high of the day was in terms of the volatilities. So that's something that we can at least look at and say, well, that's a bullish unwind. There's definitely a bullish angle to what these guys are thinking. There's definitely a bullish angle to the equity markets. Now, when it opens, that bullish angle is the first thing you're going to be thinking about. It doesn't matter whether the market opens up or whether the market opens down. It's how they closed on Tuesday. That's what I'm interested in. So obviously how they closed on Tuesday, bullish. So my first thought is it's a buy trade. Now obviously we then take a look at what? How it's evolving in terms of the macro picture. So if we understand how it's evolving from the macro picture, we can see that from the macro picture it actually is gapping down. Well, it's going to gap down, isn't it? That's not a surprise. So what we've got to try and do is try and figure out, whilst it might be gapping down, is it gapping down and it represents buy value? That's the question that we're trying to now answer. In other words, are the buyers going to be keen to buy at lower prices? To try and answer that, we obviously try and drill down to a lower time frame to start watching the inside markets here. We can see that in the early stages of the open here, you can see that the initial surge was pretty bullish. I bought into the initial surge off the cash open. We managed to get a reasonable response up to the 70 here. It didn't quite make it. And why didn't it make it? Because the value stayed bearish. The rotation started to sell. And obviously because of that, you started to think to yourself, right, macro's bearish, the micro's now bearish. I want to get some short business off the micro. You start selling into the micro. Are they buying the low edge? Maybe they are, but I'm not buying it yet. I'm not going to be buying it just yet. I'm going to be quite happy to try and see if we've got any more on this. You can see the price of volatility. You can see the price of volatility when you look at these aspects. You can obviously look into these and ask those questions. Is the price of volatility improving? Is the price of volatility getting worse? Well, you can see that the hedging is certainly unwinding and the price is starting to rally off the low prices. Am I going to buy it? No. Am I going to sell it? No. Am I distributing? I've already distributed. I'm waiting for new information at the moment. If the price breaks down into the bottom edges with this value, I will start going net longs. I'm going to be looking at this bottom edge now and I'm going to be thinking to myself, you know what, I'm going to try and buy up some of that discount if we can get some. Otherwise, it looks to be about fair value to me at the moment on this uptick. It doesn't seem to give me much of an edge to be long or short just at this point. Net-wise, I'd like to be long off the lower prices. That's the trade that I'm still thinking about just now. I want to be long off the lower prices. Whether I'm going to get that now, the buyers are obviously starting to come into this trade. Obviously, they've done exactly the same thought as I have, which is the bullish close from yesterday. And they're quite happy to rotate this market just now. I still don't see an edge. I'm quite happy to be on the sidelines. And I'm going to be watching this until I start getting an edge. And then, and only then, will I try and take a pop at some business. The 2's10 starting to improve in line with the 2's 5's at the moment, so that's stopping me from being a buyer of bonds. I'm going to be waiting till I get a little bit more of an edge from the 2's 5's, and then I might start getting back into a long bond trade. Now, obviously, if I start buying bonds, that could start causing a little bit of a sell coming into equity prices.